I love that I get to play a black character who's not a stereotype, who is not afraid to be vulnerable, who comes from a loving home situation. I know it sounds stupid, but for me, these tiny, little glimpses into people's lives matter. Those are my dreams. Buy mom a house, build a school in Rwanda. Then carry on making enough money to buy soaps from Lush. Being a 25-year-old man with no money or job affected my sense of self-worth. Rejection became unbearable. Auditions weren't just acting jobs, they were lifelines. My mom put me in this extracurricular dance class when I was a kid. And so I think that just started the creative part of my brain. That's what activated that. You get on the tube and you notice everyone's looking at you, and you're like, what's on my face? It always takes me a couple of seconds to remember I'm on a Netflix show that airs to the entire world. I always had faith in my charisma. Because my parents are Rwandan, there was always a lot of color and artwork in our house, and that informed my love of bright and vibrant clothes. To be able to show your creativity or your creative expression on your body is a very powerful thing. I think there's quite a narrow representation of gay people on TV, and I think that we need to push that. And I think that we need to allow for a lot more stories to be told. When I lost weight due to only eating once a day, people said how lean and healthy I looked. I used to be a really great dancer. I used to do it quite a lot and then I stopped. Now my body has forgotten all that training. I was in a play just outside of London and started auditioning for sex education, but I just completely had the mindset that it's a Netflix show, they're not gonna hire me anyway. You make your own destiny. It's very important to see a black gay teen represented. I'm most proud of my heritage, being able to shape people's perception of Rwanda or Rwandans. Within church communities, within black communities, and within black church communities, gossip is thy friend. Gossip will be thy friend. I grew up with a single mom, an immigrant mom who couldn't speak the language, no money, 3 kids on her back, coming from Rwanda, and she's done a sterling job with all 3 of us. You don't need to bow down to peer pressure or be comparing yourself. The black gay experience isn't one that is often told. I would like to try to cap rent prices. I mean, in theater, you can't really save that much money when you live in London. Costume really helps you feel in character. Adebayo Oglawal is so talented. He takes risks to make his suits different. I couldn't believe I was homeless and working in Harrods. How many people must be going through this in London? In a small way, I'm driven by proving people wrong. Because of the background I come from, I think a lot of people have doubted that I would get this far. I have faith, but I'm not the biggest fan of organized religion. There's a lot of hypocrites in church. A lot of hypocrites. A lot of our sex education at school is so biological. People really cannot understand the concept of a black boy in a tracksuit in London being from Scotland. I developed depression. But I never let people know how down I was feeling. That would have been another burden for my friends to take on. My mind became my biggest enemy. At home, I was very traditional, studied, made sure I brought home those A's and B's, made sure I went to Bible study. Outside of that, oh, I was such a little chaff. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe to Best Quotes YouTube channel.